Hi, guys, and thank you so much for joining me right here on Double Dose Purity One's Tip Talk. I am Natalie, and thank you. And I appreciate you guys coming to visit me today. And today's topic or today's tip talk will be why you're still hanging on to the relationship. I know that in my last video, I talked about a no contact rule. And in that video, I did say that I was going to explain of when you should use the no contact rule. And I noticed that when I went back to watch the video that I never did explain that. So I do want to explain when you should use it. Now, if you have not seen the video, I do suggest you go back and watch that video. It's very informative for people who are in a relationship and would like to the relationship to get along a little bit better. Something's not right. Something's not going too well in a relationship, and you want to improve that. Or you feel that you are being run over in a relationship. You feel like you just need a clear break, or you need to do something else to get different results. That is what brought me to say that when you should use the no contact rule. In my opinion, I just believe you should use the no contact rule in those instances that I just named. You know, if you're trying to improve the relationship, or you're trying to get a different result. In my case, the relationship, I used it to try and get a different result, and the results were successful, but they weren't the results I was looking for. I was looking for better results. I was looking for something different. So I am still not in that relationship, and because sometimes certain relationships are just not for you. Sometimes you could be stuck in a place to where you're still hanging on to the relationship, and you're waiting and sitting there and waiting and thinking, oh wow, it's gonna get better. You know, if I do this, it might get better. The no contact rule, it's a decision maker. So if you plan to stay in the relationship, and that person does improve, and they do see where they went wrong, and they do see that they miss you, and that's where they want to be, I suggest that it's okay, you know, to go back or whatever. But in all actuality, you made a decision to leave the relationship for 30 days for a certain reason. And that reason is to actually pull yourself out of the relationship and pull yourself away from the negativity. Maybe there was a triangle going on, 3 parties, you know, maybe there was something wrong with the relationship that made you pull away. I would suggest that if you did pull away in any kind of way, that you stay away. You know, sometimes it just takes that going back, like I did. And I do mention that in my video, that I did go back and I did try to see if things could work out. They worked out to a certain extent, which meant I should have never went back in the first place. But with that being said, I still say that it was an experience, and some of you just might want to have that experience to see if it will work out, to see what happens. Anywho, that's the thing on, you know, if you want to see that video, go back and watch it. I am going to go ahead and get into why you're still hanging on to the relationship. Now, maybe you did do the no contact rule, or maybe you have broken up with that person and you still feel as if you need to hang on to the relationship. You are still feeling that there could be something there for the both of you. There could be a connection. There could be something there to try and help the both of you out with the relationship. Now, that may be the way you feel, and it could possibly not be the way they feel. If they have not contacted you, if your communication is very stagnant, you're not communicating properly, nobody's texting properly, and maybe you see them every now and then, it's time to move on, because those are time wasters. Those are things that waste time in the relationship. All that time that you wasting going back and forth with that person trying to make it work, you could be doing something else with somebody else that wants to have your time, that wants to make use of your time, instead of, you know, wasting your time. Pretty much that could be a possibility as to why you're thinking you want to hang on to the relationship, because something might spark. Now, I am going to give you a couple of reasons. We're going to talk about why you're still hanging on to the relationship. We're going to talk about reasons why you should let go. And then we'll also talk about what you can do to begin to let go of the relationship. You know, if I tell you something, I would like to give you a reason to it. I feel like, you know, most people tell you things. Some people will tell you what you're doing, but they don't tell you a solution to it. So this is, you know, this is my purpose of the video, to be able to tell you a solution to what is going on. So real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and start with why you know, like we've already been talking about, why you're still hanging on to the relationship. Well, number one, I have, and I'm saying these things because I have felt that way myself. So if I, you know, the reason I'm on here expressing these things, because this is what I have experienced, and I want to share, you know, my experience with you as well, because you might be feeling the same way. You never know. Anyway, the very first one I have on here is fear that he will or has moved on to someone new. So you are fearing that he either has moved on to someone new, or you're fearing that whatever he's doing, he will move on to someone new. That is the biggest fear that you have. Now, I will say having that fear is legitimate. That's in every relationship. I understand your fear. I understand that sometimes, you know, you may look at the situation as, you know, oh, I just really don't want him to be with nobody else. But there is a cure for that. You should not fear that you will never find this again. If you found it the first time, if you come across and ran across this person the first time, you have enough life in your lifetime to be able to find it again. So don't worry about that. But that is a number one fear that I would say for me, that's what I used to fear, that he will move on and find someone new. And then you probably are thinking like, oh, he's going to be happy with that person when he moves on. And why come he couldn't be happy with me? Working with the universe, which I do. I do work with the universe, and I work with the spirit of the universe. I will say that those are experiences that they circle around to you, that you can learn from that experience. So you can know that once you're done with that experience, once you're done experiencing that he might be with somebody new, he might be this and that, when you'll look back at that and be like, why did I fear? Because you have to take that fear and use it as an experience, and know that the next relationship that you get in, the second person that you may get, you may not stay with them a long time. So you need to use that experience as knowledge and wisdom, and be able to move forward. Okay. So the second one is fear of being alone. You came here alone. You came out of your mom's womb alone, your mother's womb. The only thing you feared is not getting fed, not getting changed. You know, your fears were different. You know, so when you really look at it, there's nothing to fear, because you were changed. Things happened for you. So all that's saying is that you're not going to be alone. There is someone out there for you. There is no fear of being alone. If you are alone, it also says that you need to use that time to this marker of 50. And now, you know, you've wasted all that time. You have to know that there's not much time left. That time has to be used as wise as possible. And the way time is flying nowadays is, you wake up, it's already 2020, and you're like, what the you know, you already in the years. So the time is moving pretty fast, and that means that you have no time to waste. So if you are alone, you have to use your time wisely while being alone. Okay. And the third one is fear of starting over with someone new. Okay. So now you may feel like, oh, such a duty to do, you know, to go out, you know, and start all over again. I got to get to know this person. Well, that's you've had to get to know people all your life. So that's just a normal process, and that should not be used as an excuse as to why you're not moving on. I just feel like that's the worst excuse you can use, is because you fear of starting over with someone new. That's giving you a new beginning. That's giving you a chance to be able to craft that person to the way you want to. That's giving you a big chance to do a lot of things. So having that fear that you got to start all over, starting over from the beginning is great if you got the right tools, if you have the right things to start over with. Do you actually have the right tools to start, over with someone else? Are you carrying baggage? Did you even get rid of the baggage before you even started? So that also has a bearing on starting over. What did you get rid of? What's new? What are you bringing to the table? Is there something new you're bringing to the table? While you're out there fearing, did you get yourself prepared for that new start? Or did you just feel like, oh, you know what, so I'm just going to be comfortable and stay here? If you do that, if you be comfortable and stay where you are, guess what? You will not have any progress, and you most definitely will stay exactly where you are. And if you have not improved in anything that you're doing, guess what? That whole situation is going to come back around to haunt you again. So do not get complacent. Do not get comfortable with starting, with not starting over. Go ahead and start anew. But before you start, just make sure you are prepared. You got everything together before you even start. One is fear of losing the work you put in over the years or months. You fear that you're going to lose, all the time and effort that you put into that relationship. Let's just say it's been 17 years. It's been 12 years. Y'all been together for so long. You just match each other. You just, you look like each other and all that stuff. And now you're about to lose it. Well, let me tell you, working with the universe, and not only that, if you've been with that person for all that time and you have no progress, y'all are not married. There's things that's not happening for you. You all are not successful. You haven't built a successful business together. You all don't even talk about business together. You all don't do anything that is worth building. If you have done that, if those are the things that hinder you, and that you're just not in that space with that person, why can't you leave? Because he or she has not built you up to that. You all are not even thinking about that. You're just running back and forth and doing things willy-nilly. So what does it cost for you to just, go ahead and leave those years? Because you all haven't built anything. You don't see anything behind you that you can say that, you know what, we really did good. We did this, we did that. We bought a home together. We've had this and that. If all you have is infidelity, if all you have is drug addiction, abuse, if that's all you have to show for, why shouldn't you leave those years behind and start anew? And please don't forget your timeline. Your timeline from 20 years old all the way to 70. Let's just say you put in your 20s and you put in your 30s and you put in your 40s into this relationship. You don't have much time left to enjoy who you are or to enjoy anything else in life. You're going to really be scratching and scraping to actually get up to par to be able to do that. So I say, if you have been in that relationship for a long time and you're just tired and you just want to leave, you have to take steps to do that. And I know sometimes people don't want to take steps to do that because of the fear. Oh, I gotta start over. Hey, every day you wake up, you start over. So that's no excuse. Every day that you wake up, you start over. So that also means that you can start over in a relationship, in anything that you want to do. Let's just put that behind us about fear of losing the work you put in a relationship. You have to put that behind you, because there's always going to be work put in somewhere. It's not just going to come easy. The next relationship you get in, you have to put in work. So that's really not an excuse. That's just something that you're saying to keep you in that place. And if you like, keeping yourself from progress and success, more power to you. But I don't like keeping myself from all the success that I can have, all the progress that I can make, making a difference in my life, and knowing that, I have moved on, and letting them see me progress, letting them see me be, all that I can be. That's the whole point, of moving on and doing better. Because when they look at you and they look back at you, dang, I wish I would have stayed with her. I should have never left. No, you shouldn't have never left. You should have did what you're supposed to do when you were supposed to do it, and things would have turned out differently. But because you didn't, oh well. That's what I have to say about that. But I know I talked too long on that probably, but let me go ahead and give you the reasons why you should let go. I'm go ahead and quickly wrap this up. Now, the reasons why you should let go: until you release them, your soulmate or twin flame can't enter into your atmosphere. I mean, that's just plain simple and, straightforward. If you're still hanging on to that person, your soulmate that you're looking for, or that soulmate that's to come to you, if you've been praying for it and if you've been wondering when it's going to get here, and you are still hanging on to certain things in that relationship, you're still hanging on to that person, you're still hanging on to the fact that you all used to go to the mall together, y'all used to go to the movies together, y'all used to do everything together, you used to cook together, you used to clean together. If you are still hanging on to those trinkets, I call them trinkets, because you could easily get rid of trinkets. If you are still holding on to those little trinkets, your soulmate is just watching from afar, waiting for you to let go. That person, they can't get there because it's blocked. The road is blocked, and you have not cleared the way for that person to get there. You're stagnant and you're standing still, so there's no way that you can walk to them or they can walk to you, because everything is blocked in the middle. So until you do that, until you release all of that energy that you're still holding up inside of you, until you release those things, your soulmate, twin flame, whoever they are, will not visit you. You will not have it, and you will not be married. Nothing will happen for you. And that has to be a lesson learned through the times. That is a lesson learned. So release your baggage, release everything, and you will start opening roads. You will open that blockage. That whole wall that's up will crumble down. That will crumble, because now you are opening up a space for him to walk to you, for him to come, she to walk to you, come to you. Another reason why you should really let go is to free your mind to concentrate in other areas of your life that deserve attention. Okay, and then that could be when you're freeing your mind, you're freeing yourself from the everyday thoughts. You're freeing yourself from just everything. You're just making sure that you're concentrating and putting your focus elsewhere. So if you and you're putting it into places that need attention. So let's just say you have not been paying attention to how your child looks, because you've been so busy with Bobby. Bobby done had you hemmed up somewhere, and y'all, you done been so busy with him that the baby looking bad, everybody look crazy, and he's not really taking time to tell you. No man is gonna tell you need to get to your kids. They not taking time to tell you that. So you have to realize that you need time to take care of that. And maybe even your job. A man or a woman is not going to really tell you. I won't so much say a woman. If she really cares, she'll talk to you and be like, hey, you know what? You need to do something about this. What's going on with that? Some women will do that. But what about your job? Your performance on your job is you're not paying attention, so you're being late, just being lazy. Or if you have your own business, you're slacking in clients and your finances are suffering. So if those things are happening, you need to free your mind from that ex or from that person that's having you to do all of things they are doing. They want it, nothing that you want to do. What about what you want to do? And they're not helping you in that situation. They're not putting forth effort to help you do anything. So if they're not putting forth effort to help you do anything, you have to release and free your mind. You got to let that situation go, because it does not help you. If you've already broken up, if you've already gone through the process, of no contact, if you just gone through everything that you could possibly go through, if you've done all those things and it's still not working for you, you have to let go so you can start to pay attention to who you are. Pay attention and focus on exactly what needs to be repaired. Focus on what needs to be done. So like the family, the business, or even your friends, you could definitely say your friends. Maybe, you haven't been paying attention to your friends lately. You've been so wrapped up in trying to get him back or get them back or whatever. And that's been your thing for every single day. That's all you think about is trying to get back. Well, that attention, all of that attention is actually energy. That's energy that you're pouring into someone. You need to undo that energy and pour it into something that is worthwhile. That's all you have to do, is release that energy from that person. And once you start pouring it into that child, that business, that family, that friend, you're going to see that person is going to be like, ho, the energy is gone. I'm not getting any energy here. What is going on? Well, what's going on is that we're done. We're through. I'm not paying attention to you anymore, and I'm not putting in wasted energy because I don't get anything back. So if that person is not giving back energy to you, it's no reason for you to give energy to them. Also, another reason why you should let go is to rebuild yourself and accept it's possible you will have to live your life without them. That just having acceptance, having to accept the fact that you all are not together, that you all will not be together. You need that time to accept that. You need to be able to accept that you will have to live without that person. That person came into your life, but that person also has to leave because you all weren't doing the things that you felt you all should do, or things were not the way that you felt they should be. So yes, you most definitely have to accept the fact that, wow, I truly need to move on. And it's hard. It's hard to accept that fact. It's hard to actually accept the fact that, wow, we're just not together anymore. And I know that's hard because I've experienced that, but it still does not mean that it gives me a pass to be comfortable in the situation that we were in and to let things continue to be negatively manifested. I don't want to manifest a negativity within myself. I don't want to have that negative surrounding negative thoughts. So in order not to do that, I do need to accept the fact that, hey, we're not together. And so do you. If you're manifesting that negatively, you have to accept the fact that you should move on. But if you just carry out all the things that we've talked about letting go and, face up to your fears, if you face up to things that you have been avoiding, because sometimes we avoid those things in hoping that they will come back or hoping that they will resurface. That's the reason why we avoid. But if you go ahead and accept that, that makes a difference. So what you can do to begin to let go. Meditate on why you believe you should still be with that person. Meditate on that. Meditate on why you feel you should still be with that person. You should think about that. And then if there are no answers, if you don't have any answers, there is no reason for you to be with that person. If you can't find one answer as to why you should be with that person, this has to be a good list of things. Why is it that I feel that I need to be with this person? Did I not find that in the past? You have to ask yourself those things, and then Also, if there are answers, if you do come up with answers, examine what you come up with, examine those answers, and decide if you can find those same exact qualities that you came up with the answers. See if you can find those same exact qualities in somebody else. And the reason I say that is that it's because you'll be able to find those same qualities with someone else. You may think that you can't right now because of the way you feel. It's just the way that you're in your feelings. No, you will find someone. You will find another. There is someone for you. And someone will do the same things that were done in the past, but better. But you will not be able to experience that by not letting go. That's the whole point. You won't be able to experience any of those things. And so also decide if the answers are truly what you should have in your life. Now, if you do come up with all good answers, what is in your life? Examine if that's really what you want in your life. That deserves examination, because it's a reason why you broke up. It's a reason why you're not together. So if you're coming up with these answers, you need to truly examine, is that what I really want? Is that the same? Is that what I believe? Does that align with my standards? Does that align with my beliefs? You have to examine those things, because if you don't, it will allow you to go back to just being stagnant and standing still waiting for that person. You have no reason to sit and wait for somebody that's not waiting on you. They're not thinking about you. They don't care. And if they don't care, why should you care? Why should you sit around and try to find reasons as to why you guys are going to be together while he's out doing something else, or while he's in a triangle enjoying the hell out of himself, and he could be in 2 triangles, 5 triangles with 100 people, and you are the only one that's sitting around still hoping and believing and dreaming that things will change, and it's not. And if it does come your way, it's not going to be what you expected. It's not going to pan out to what you thought. So in order to, combat those things, just think about the reasons why you're with that person. Think about if you truly want that in your life, if that's for you. And then also another way that you can definitely begin to let go, and to allow yourself to do more than think about that person. And that's without being said, allow yourself to do other things, allow yourself to go places, allow yourself to experience new experiences, allow yourself to do that, allow yourself to heal. And in order to heal, you need to meditate and look at your thoughts, because if that's what's consuming your mind and that's what's consuming you about getting back with that person, sit down, hot cup of tea, and just think about everything. Think about the whole thing. Negative thoughts are going to come up. Nice thoughts are going to come up. Good times are going to come up. But then once you look at those thoughts, put those thoughts in a logical box. Logically, how does it serve you? Does this serve you logically? I know your heart wants to, run amok and say, hey, oh, yeah, we had a good time there. Let's go back. No. How does it serve you logically? That's the thing you want to look at. Okay, and do other activities that do involve hard concentration and focus. I'm sure there's plenty of activities out here that you can do that really deserves your attention and concentration. Just like Ubering, you got to pay attention to that. You can't be out there thinking about him and you be done ran into everybody. So you have to put yourself in a position to where, if you are, doing something concentration and focus, that will help you forget about things for that moment. Driving does that. Driving, you ain't thinking nothing. You thinking about the road, the person in front of you and the person behind you, the person on the side of you and the left on the right, the passenger side, the driver's side. So you do not have time to be thinking about, oh, I wonder if I should call. No, you don't. Plus, you trying to answer your phone. You trying to be on the phone. You're trying to text, trying to do too many things at once. Even though you shouldn't be doing all that stuff out on the road, but I'm just trying to show you how that's deep concentration. You need to do activities like that with deep concentration and focus. So there are plenty of activities with deep concentration and focus. What takes deep concentration and focus? Studying, things of that nature. That's deep concentration and focus. Maybe you want to get into real estate, or maybe you want to do some stocks, do things to help you do advance financially. If you're thinking about things like that, or, it could be anything. You want to start your own business. That all takes deep concentration and focus. And I say that because you have to spend time building that. That is, you have to put energy into that, and that will not allow you to continue to keep focusing in on one area. Of course, you'll get distracted. You'll have distractions, but as long as you got something that you can run back to that requires your deep concentration and focus, you'll be able to do it. Okay? You think about them and immediately acknowledge the thought and banish it away. That's what that brings me to. So when you begin to think about them and what they're doing and how they're doing it, or how things are going, yeah, you're gonna have to banish all of that. That whole thing's got to go. That's just, you can't be sitting up all day thinking about them and they not thinking about you. So the first thing you can do is acknowledge the thought. And of course, it is also said that if a thought just pops up in your mind, that is that they're thinking about you as well. They have sent that energy pulse to you to think about them. Is what I've heard. I don't know how true that is. All I can say is you send that energy pulse away from you. That's what I can say, that you send that away from you. If they are thinking about you, just send it away from you, banish it, so you can move on, so you can have a clearer mind and go back to what you were doing, so that it does not become a distraction to you. Remove all aspects of that person from your presence, like any gifts or presents you may have shared together. Yeah, remove all that stuff, like social media activity, especially until you're ready to accept that you guys are separated. Don't go on social media looking at his page. You can block him from your page and block him from everything. If you just feel like, I just cannot deal with this, I don't want to be tempted, if that's what block is for, just welcome him to the block party. Hey, that's what it's for. Just, any gifts or presents, box those things up, put those things away. Don't leave them out, to where you're thinking about it and then you end up calling and doing certain things. Yeah, just put everything away, out of eyesight. Don't give it any energy, because that's exactly what is happening. You're giving it energy. And you just don't want those old feelings to manifest. You want those things to go away. Also, you can also make major changes in your life. Just go ahead and make those changes, like going to the gym, make a change with friends. Maybe you guys know the same people. If you do know the same people in some kind of way, limit the connection with them. And I hate to say that, and just until you're separated, until you can accept that, okay, I can be around them now without asking about him, without trying to find out, ooh, how he doing? Girl, you talk to so-and-so, I wonder how he doing. Until you can get over those things, limit all connection with those friends, limit everything, just try to make it to where you are not longing for that person. Do projects that'll keep you from, longing for that person. Okay, so also try making new friends, but give yourself enough time to heal and let go of the previous habits from the old relationship. I say, just like I told you before, give yourself time to get rid of that baggage that you had, with that person. Don't believe just because that person did that when you get ready to make something new, they're going to do the same thing. They're two different people. You can't judge them on that. I've seen it to where people are like, girl, he just like so-and-so, or she just like someone. No, they are two different individuals, and you have to judge, you have to judge them as such, as two different individuals. So don't bring, those baggages. Make sure you dismantle all of those old feelings, old baggages before you even go out and try to meet anyone. You want to have a clear mind, a clear head. You want to have a clear mindset before you do that. You want to get rid and unclog all those things that were clogged up in you about that relationship. That is why you need to take time out before you just get started on making new friends, and making a move to do new things with a new lover or a new person. That would really, really help, so you don't have the same exact problems circling back to you. The universe will not give you back those problems, and the universe gives you things because you have not learned. If you've seen it before, you have not learned. It's time for you to learn, and until you learn, until you master that, it's going to keep coming back to you. It's a circle. Remember that, it's a circle. Okay. And one last but not least, this is it. If you continue to be friends, learn to ignore their calls at times and not fall back into the traps of back and forth and wasting time with that person. Now, it's always been an issue with being friends with an ex. I say that it's always been an issue because now you've moved on and you have a new person in your life. So I would say not really be friends with them if you have moved on and started something new. Seeing them and saying hello, but not to the point where they're calling you all the time and they're doing things to disrupt the new love that you have found. Now, if they are calling you back because they realize that you have gone, and they realize the mistakes that they made, I will say that it's definitely up to your heart to decide, and your logic, your brain, your logic to decide which road to take. I can't advise, on that because, it's definitely up to the universe and it's up to you. It's a possibility that it could work out for you, and it's a possibility that it will not work. But, just in experience or in my thoughts and my opinions, if you have moved on and you want things to work with that person that you've moved on with, having an ex behind you as a friend that hounds you and that that they want you. I could see if they're okay in their relationship, they want nothing from you, and you're okay in your relationship, you want nothing from them, automatically you will be separated because there's no, you don't want anything from each other. But if one of the parties still wants something from you or you still want something from them, your new relationship will suffer. So that is going to actually do it. That's going to do it. And I do thank you for watching. And to my new subscribers, I welcome you so much and thank you for viewing my channel. And if you found this video to be enjoyable, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have questions about what we just talked about not letting go, why you're not able to let go, or even if you have questions about the previous video, no contact rule, please feel free to email me, get in contact with me so that we can talk about it a little bit more. Leave comments. I have enjoyed you all today, and thank you so much for watching my channel. I am going to leave you with a nugget. Every single day that you wake up is another chance to make up. Whether you're making up creating something new, whether you're making up or forgiving someone, whether you're putting on makeup for your face, every day that you wake up is a new day to make up. Love you guys. Okay, bye.